The story takes place in a wealthy family, the home of Chairman Xia, who runs a successful real estate company called Happy Real Estate. He has 2 daughters. The elder one, Mary, was born with a cleft lip. After years of treatment, she finally recovers her beauty. The Xia family uses this touching story in their ads, which helps them sell properties like hotcakes. One day, at a launch event for a new housing project, Mary meets the project's designer, Hao Tian. When they were kids, Hao Tian once saved her and even gave her a lollipop. Now, reunited after so many years, Mary falls for him and is determined to win him over. Unfortunately, Hao Tian already has a girlfriend, Zhen Zhen. Zhen Zhen comes from a single-parent household. Her mom and her mom's best friend, Auntie Lily, raised her while running a chicken rice shop. Zhen Zhen is kind-hearted and has been supporting Hao Tian financially so he could study architecture abroad. Thanks to her, he's now a top designer. Their relationship is rock solid. This drives Mary crazy with jealousy. Even though she knows Hao Tian is taken, she still clings to him. She confesses, "There should be no other love in my life except you." Hao Tian, weak-willed as he is, half-heartedly rejects her. "Please don't touch me." So Mary shifts her focus to Hao Tian's mom, a gold digger who's never liked Zhen Zhen. She bluntly tells Zhen Zhen, "Call me a snob, say I look down on the poor. I don't care. I won't let my son be with a fatherless girl like you." Hao Tian is a notorious mama's boy. When his mom forces him to attend Mary's birthday party and buy her an expensive necklace, he obeys. Mary gushes, "What a beautiful necklace! Will you put it on for me?" She's over the moon, while Hao Tian feels guilty. The next day, he tries to make it up to Zhen Zhen with a gift, a box labeled "Star Naming Rights." He points at a random star and says, "I bought this for you." Seriously? But Zhen Zhen, being the sweet girl she is, actually loves it. Meanwhile, Chairman Xia's younger daughter, Summer, is a naive, hopeless romantic. After yet another breakup, she throws coffee at her ex, but misses and hits a stranger instead. That stranger turns out to be Yan Gu, the general manager of another real estate company. Summer then ditches her rich girl identity, pretends to be a regular employee, and starts working at Yan Ji's company. Soon, they start dating, break up, cheat, get back together. Their messy story is too chaotic to explain here, so let's skip them for now. Back to Mary. Seeing how happy Hao Tian and Zhen Zhen are, she resorts to dirty tricks. She orders chicken rice from Zhen Zhen's family shop in the middle of the night, making Zhen Zhen deliver it, only to leave her waiting outside for hours. Mary teams up with Hao Tian's mom to arrange a dinner with him, then lets gossip reporters splash their rich heiress and designer love story all over the news. Hao Tian's indecisiveness toward Mary makes Zhen Zhen suffer endlessly. Lily, Zhen Zhen's mom's best friend, can't take it anymore and goes to Chairman Xia with a shocking secret. Zhen Zhen's mom was Chairman Xia's first love, and Zhen Zhen is actually his biological daughter. But Zhen Zhen's mom never wanted a penny from the Xia family or to disrupt their lives, so she never asked him to acknowledge Zhen Zhen. They kept it hidden, but Chairman Xia quietly tries to help Zhen Zhen by setting up a small department for her at the company. When Mary finds out, she throws a tantrum, crying and demanding, "Make Zhen Zhen leave Happy Real Estate now! If she doesn't go, I will!" She gets her way. The department never happens. Then Mary and Hao Tian's mom keep bullying Zhen Zhen. Hao Tian's mom mocks Zhen Zhen in front of him, saying, "She's perfect, except she doesn't have a chairman for a father. Too poor." She's shamelessly money-obsessed, waiting for her son to marry rich Mary and climb the social ladder. One night, after getting drunk, Mary finally hooks Hao Tian. She seduces him, begging, "Love me, okay?" Hao Tian gives in, but the next day, he acts like nothing happened. He tells Mary, "I'm not worth all this. Why didn't you stop me last night?" Days later, he even holds an engagement party with Zhen Zhen. To ruin it, Mary films a suicide threat at the beach, saying, "I love you so much I'd die for you." Hao Tian panics, abandons everyone, and rushes to save her, only to crash his car and end up in the hospital. When Chairman Xia sees his daughter's insane video, he scolds her. But Mary just screams, "I love Hao Tian! I love Hao Tian!" After Hao Tian recovers, she still clings to him. He rejects her again, but she pleads, "Please don't push me away." Hao Tian says, "Mary, it's not that I don't love you, I'm just not good enough for you." Instead of telling her to get lost, his weak answer keeps giving her false hope. Later, Mary's uncle visits and drops another bombshell. After digging into the truth, Mary learns Zhen Zhen is Chairman Xia's real daughter, and she isn't. Her real father is actually her uncle. Back then, her bio dad didn't want a daughter with a cleft lip, so he dumped her on his sister. Now that she knows she's a fake heiress, Mary goes completely unhinged. She screams, Jen has nothing to do with my dad. She's a fatherless nobody. He's my dad. She's determined to steal everything from the real heiress. So Mary secretly teams up with her bio dad. She actually uses the charity funds from the Cleft Lip Children's Foundation that Chairman Xia set up for her to hire thugs to smash up Jen's family chicken rice shop. They have Jen arrested and beaten. They spread flyers everywhere claiming Jen was defiled by thugs. All of this is carefully planned by Mary and her biological father. Her biological father feels guilty for abandoning her as a child, so he is willing to do anything for her, no matter how evil. What a vicious father-daughter pair. Even after all this torment, Jen still refuses to give up on Haotian, so Mary chases her in a car. This scene is terrifying. Mary screams from the car, Jen, I'll kill you! Let's see if you can still steal Haotian from me! Then a car crash happens. Jen is hit, and the blood clot presses on her optic nerve, leaving her blind. After Jen goes blind, Haotian doesn't abandon her. Instead, he decides to marry her. But Mary still has to cause trouble. Jen's mom steps in to stop Mary from disrupting the wedding, but Mary pushes her to the ground, and she hits her head. Jen's mom is too kind and she refuses to hold Mary accountable. In the end, her injuries are too severe, and she passes away. Jen's wedding is anything but easy. After finally marrying into Haotian's family, Mary faces no consequences at all. Even after the wedding, Haotian's mom still dislikes her daughter-in-law. She constantly bullies blind Jen at home, pointing at her head and sneering, I can't stand being near you for another minute! Half a year later, Mary, like a lingering ghost, shows up again to ruin their lives. This time, she even brings a child. Turns out, after that drunken night together, she got pregnant with Haotian's baby and secretly gave birth. Now she is using the child as leverage. Mary deliberately runs into Haotian on the street, just to remind him she exists. She even boldly visits Haotian's house, completely ignoring Jen. Taking advantage of Jen's blindness, Mary conspires with Haotian's mom. They cover the walls with photos of Mary's child, and slash Jen's wedding photo with a knife. She even secretly poisons Jen's facial toner. Haotian's mom sees it all but says nothing. When Jen applies the toxic toner, she screams, My face burns! Then Mary pretends to be kind, offering to let Jen raise her son, but only if Jen treats him as her only child. To prove her sincerity, Jen even gets sterilized. She genuinely tries to resolve the conflict between the three of them, but Mary remains hostile. Of course, Mary isn't actually being kind. She has already plotted with her biological father. While Haotian's mom is out grocery shopping, they sneak into the house and kidnap the baby. Mary pinches the child's thighs until they turn purple, and then abandons him in a park. To frame Jen, Mary even dresses like her. She makes sure a cleaning lady sees her, then calls the police to blame Jen for child abuse and abandonment. But the cleaning lady is sharp. She says, she ran way too fast. No blind person could move like that. How could a blind woman run so quickly? Luckily, the cleaning lady's testimony clears Jen's name. Even though Jen is innocent, Haotian's mom and Mary use this as an excuse to kick Jen out of the house. To force Jen to stay away from Haotian, Mary deliberately tells her, I was the one who pushed your mom to her death. What can a blind girl like you do to me? This terrifies Jen. Panicked, she runs into the street and gets hit by a car again. This time, it's only a minor injury. The driver, Watson, saves her. Seeing how scared she is, he takes her home. Unexpectedly, this minor accident actually restores Jen's vision. After regaining her sight, she hides at Watson's place. Since Jen is missing, Chairman Xia grows extremely worried. Following Auntie Lily's advice, he publicly announces that Jen is his biological daughter. Jen Yang suddenly becomes Jen Xia. She instantly revives and empowers. Finally awakened, she confronts Mary. The happiness you schemed so hard to steal might disappear very soon. First, she deals with her nasty mother-in-law. Then, she signs the divorce papers and dumps the mama's boy, Haotian. Mary and Haotian's mom are thrilled he's finally divorced. Afraid of delays, Mary rushes to marry Haotian, holding their son. Haotian says, Fine, I'll marry you, but don't expect more. I can't love you. Mary doesn't care. She just wants the wedding. During their pre-wedding photo shoot, Jen Jen suddenly shows up, wearing a wedding dress, deliberately reminding Haotian of their own wedding. Jen Jen fights fire with fire, copying Mary's fake falling trick. Haotian catches her in his arms. Mary loses it, yelling at Jen Jen for flirting with my husband in public. Jen Jen fires back. Isn't this your own trick? Haotian admits, I know I'm marrying you, but I love her, not you. What a jerk. Later, Jen Jen takes Haotian to revisit their childhood spots, rekindling old memories. The jerk suddenly realizes he can't marry Mary. He wants Jen Jen back. He tells Mary, my heart has always been hers. But does Mary give up? No way. She texts Jen Jen, luring her to a mountaintop for a showdown. Lily intercepts the text and goes to confront Mary alone. During the argument, Mary's uncle or her biological father slips up. Why are you hitting my daughter? Lily realizes Mary isn't really Chairman Xia's biological daughter. In a rage, Mary pushes Lily off the cliff. Another murder attempt. Luckily, Lily survives. This time, Jen Jen is furious. She storms into the Xia house to settle the score. Mary shows zero remorse. Before your wedding, you knew how I felt about Haotian, yet you still refused to back off. Everything you lost is your own karma. Mary's logic is ridiculous. She's so selfish that she thinks Jen Jen should hand over their boyfriend to her. With all these crimes piled up, Jen Jen is determined to send Mary to jail. But Chairman Xia begs for mercy, asking Jen Jen to spare Mary. Jen Jen offers a deal. Forgive Mary if you expose her real identity, and cut all ties between her and the Xia family. A perfectly fair demand. Yet Chairman Xia refuses. He says he won't agree to Jen Jen's terms. Instead of blaming Mary, Chairman Xia turns against Jen Jen. Maybe it's because he's grown attached to Mary after raising her for so many years. He says, I'd rather lose Jen Jen than give up Mary. As long as she calls me dad, I won't kick her out. Even if Jen Jen insists on suing Mary, I'll still help Mary find the best lawyer. This plot is so infuriating it could give you high blood pressure. How many terrible things has Mary even done? Spreading rumors, slander, smashing shops, kidnapping, murder, embezzling donations, hit and run, child abduction, abuse, and she even framed Jen Jen for it. Yet Chairman Xia blindly defends his adopted daughter and attacks his own flesh and blood for not being generous enough. He even brings the whole family to beg for mercy. Later, Mary's son suddenly develops anemia and needs a blood transfusion. That's when they realize his blood type doesn't match either parent. Mary's biological father finally admits Mary's real child died at birth, so he swapped in another baby. The boy isn't even hers. Karma, huh? Jen Jen lets go of her anger, but Mary still refuses to accept it. She says, how can I compete with Jen Jen now without a real son? The ending of this drama is even more outrageous. Jen Jen actually remarries Haotian, while Watson is forced to marry Mary. The youngest sister, Summer, ends up with Yengu. The final scene shows all three sisters having a group wedding. They deliver a cheesy closing line together, preaching about love, truth, and kindness. After suffering for 40 episodes, Jen Jen forgives everyone for a forced happy ending. This show is the ultimate mix of rich family drama, toxic romance, and revenge. Every character tests the audience's patience to the limit. After watching, we can only ask, did the writer have a grudge against the viewers?